Hare Krishna, welcome devotees to the Gita Daily session. So today we'll be discussing Bhagavad Gita, Sloka number 5.29. So thanks for all devotees who have joined. Let's take the blessings of the Lord Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maya Sudarshan, Lakshmi Narasimha Gaurnitaya Panchatattva. By their blessings, we can understand the transcendental topics of Bhagavad Gita. So let's recite the prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhujale Srimade Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nidinamini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarini जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So let's dedicate the session to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Founder Acharya of International Society for Krishna Consciousness. By whose mercy, we are able to understand Bhagavad Gita topics and also able to apply it in our day-to-day life. So let's thank Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So today's sloka is 5.29. So let's recite the sloka. Bhoktaram yadna tabasam sarvaloka maheshwaram sugridam sarvabhutanam natva mam shantim richati. Repetition. Bhoktaram yadna tabasam sarvaloka maheshwaram sugridam sarvabhutanam natva mam shantim richati. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. A person in full Krishna conscious, a person in full consciousness of me, knowing me to be the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifice and austerities, the supreme lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all the living entities, attains peace from the pangs of material miseries. See the word meaning. Bhoktaram, the beneficiary, Yajna, of sacrifices, Tapasam, and penance and austerities, Sarvaloka, of all planets and are the demigods thereof, Maheshwaram, the Supreme Lord, Suhridam, the benefactor, Sarva, of all, Bhudanam, the living entities, Natva, thus knowing, Mam, Lord Krishna, Shantim, relief from material pangs, Richati, one achieves. Okay, so let's repeat the shloka, see the shloka translation again. A person in full consciousness of me, knowing me to be the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerities, the supreme lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attains peace from the pangs of material miseries. So this is a very important shloka. This shloka is known as the peace formula. So basically, this shloka is telling that how we can attain peace. So let's try to recap what we were discussing. So we are in the fifth chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and yesterday we saw that how sense pleasures are temporary, and a person who is in the transcendental platform, he doesn't indulge in sense gratification because he knows that it is a cause of misery, right? Now in this shloka, Lord actually further explains that how can one attain ultimate peace. So if you remember a few shlokas before, we had also seen that how one can free from the Lord gave the formula how to free from cycle of birth and death, right? So we have been discussing that there are multiple like important sutras which actually gives the information. So the previous sloka, Lord explained that whoever knows the transcendental activities of Lord in Tattva, right, they will not take birth again. Janma karma jame divyam evam yo veti tattva tattva deham punarjanma na iti mami iti so Arjuna. So that shloka says that when somebody understands Lord in truth, then he can get freed from cycle of birth and death. So before one gets freed from cycle of birth and death, so this current shloka says that first step towards that is how to become peaceful. Because in today's world, we see that most of the people, most of us, are always in anxiety. There is no peace. The question of peace will be far away. Right? Always there is stress, whether it is stress due to work or stress due to family, various reasons, disease. So many things continuously trouble the jiva in the material world, right? And then the jiva is always anxious. It's always in anxiety that what is going to happen tomorrow, what will happen next, right? So he's always worried and unhappy. So how can we become peaceful? This is one of first step. Actually, we need to be in, like, at least in peaceful state, so that we can make progress but further in spiritual path. So this shloka, actually, the Lord says how we can become peaceful, right? So Krishna says there are three important aspects in this shloka. One is Bhoktaram Yatna Tapasam, then Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, and Sugritam Sarvabhodana. So first part is that understanding that no, whatever karma or activities the jiva does, who is the ultimate benefactor, right? Who is ultimately beneficial of these things, like especially yajna and tabas. So yajna and tabas actually is like sacrifices and austerities. But in today's world, we could equate to the karma, the activities that we perform, right? So Krishna says that he is the ultimate beneficiary. Bhoktaram yajna tapasam. So he is the enjoyer or ultimate benefactor of all the activities. Then Sarva Loka Mahesha. So basically that means that the activities, whatever we do, should be done in such a way that it is pleasing to the Lord. So understanding this Bhoktaram, so basically there is two things. One is theory and practice. So theory is that okay, Krishna is the ultimate benefactor of everything. And he is the enjoyer of everything. So that means that what is the lesson or what is the practical application for us to do is that we have to always contemplate the activity which we are performing, will it please the Lord or not? So how do we know whether it pleases the Lord? Because the Lord has already mentioned in the scriptures, what are the activities which pleases Him, right? So from based on the scriptures and the information from the Guru and other Vaishnavas, we should be able to decide what is pleasing to the Lord, and then decide whether this activity should I perform or not, or whether it is pleasing to the Lord or not. So Bhoktaram Hitna Tapasa. Then Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. So here actually we are trying to understand in Tattva. Krishna says in Tattva, whoever understands me in Tattva, he will not take birth again. So this sloka, the Tattva is that Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. We should understand that Krishna is the ultimate proprietor of everything. He owns everything. He is ultimate proprietor. So the practical application of this part is that when we understand that Krishna is the ultimate proprietor, then automatically it means that we are not the proprietor, right? But generally, because we identify with the body and the current designations, we think that we are the proprietor because we think, okay, this is my house, right, and this is my family. But actually, neither of these facts are true. The house, or you have a property, it will be in your name for some years, right? And after that, this property, earlier this land belonged to somebody else. Now this land, actually, I am owning this land, but after some time land becomes somebody else's, right? Similarly, the family members, they are actually, it is mentioned, they are like guest guests who come together um, in a lodge or somewhere, no, like a satra, right? People actually, when in the olden time, people used to journey like, or by walking for many days, and then in the night they take shelter in a small place, like a dormitory or a satra, they call it, right? So there actually sometimes people comes together, they talk to each other, they get introduced, and then next morning they go away separate. So similarly, also another example is that the wood logs which is floating in the river, right? So the logs of wood which floats in the river, sometimes they come together for some time, and again they, by the current, flow of the current, they separate. So similarly, the union of family is very temporary, right? So the people who are so-called our relatives, like our father, mother, or spouse, or children, so we think that they belong to us, but in the last life they belong to somebody else, and in the next life they belong to somebody else. So similarly, so that means that we are not the proprietor of anything. No, it is only a temporary conception. We think that okay, these are all my belongings, but actually it is not. Lord says that He is the ultimate proprietor of everything, right? So we have also seen in Brahma Samhita, we have seen a few times that Lord Brahmaji actually acknowledges the Lord's position. Lord Brahmaji says, Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. So Brahmaji says that Krishna is actually the original source of everything. So the Lord actually exists originally, and everything actually comes from Him. All the material worlds, the spiritual worlds. We know that we have seen that the spiritual world there are unlimited spiritual Vaikuntha planets, and in the material world also there are many unlimited number of universes, right? We have seen that. So the entire material cosmic manifestation is conducted by a portion of the portion of the portion of the Lord. We have seen that, no? So, Ekam Shena Siddho Jagat. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, later we'll see that. So, Krishna, by his partial expansion of Mahavishnu, right, he maintains the entire material creation. So, the Lord actually, his opulence are unlimited, right, and he is the original proprietor of everything because everything comes from him. So, we have to understand that everything belongs to Krishna. So, we should not think that no, this belongs to me, right? Everything belongs to Krishna. So, when we think like that, then automatically, then one more last point is the Sukritam Sarvabhudana. So he is the well-wisher, ultimate well-wisher of all the jivas. Sukritam Sarvabhudana. So he's not only he is well-wisher of me, but he is well-wisher of all the jivas which are in the material world. How do we know that? Because we have seen that no, the Lord actually, when the Lord Jiva wants to leave the Lord from the spiritual world and comes to material world to enjoy, the Lord accompanies every jiva as Paramatma in the heart. Ishvara Sarvabhudanam Pradeshe Arjuna Tishtati. So the Lord is situated. Lord actually doesn't want the jiva to get lost. So he accompanies us Paramatma in the heart. But then he doesn't directly interfere because of the free will of the jiva, because the jiva want to enjoy. But as soon as the jiva is ready, or no, as soon as he looks towards Paramatma, then Paramatma is waiting, anxiously to help the jiva. So this way, and Krishna performs every activity in such a way that it is ultimately good for the jiva. Temporarily, the jiva may think that no, this is not good for me. No, something may be difficult to pass through. Some challenges may come, but ultimately, if we have taken shelter of Krishna, then we have to be rest assured that whatever the Lord does is ultimately for my ultimate benefit. So, knowing these three important facts, we can attain peace. First point is that all the activities is to please Krishna. So, if we perform our activity in such a way that it is pleasing to the Lord, right, then actually we can become peaceful. Second, Sarvaloka, understanding that I am not the proprietor of anything. Because, see, most of this anxiety comes because of the proprietorship mentality or enjoyment mentality. Because, no, first of all, we try hard, no, day and night we work hard, try to accumulate different possessions, right? Because these possessions are temporary. So, a lot of our effort goes in this. And when we attain something, then we are always anxious, when will I lose it? So, till we attain it, we are anxious, how will I get it? And when we get it, we are anxious, how will I protect it? How will I ensure that it is not lost? Right? So we are always worried about the property, different possessions. So day and night, we think about these things. Right? So that is why we become restless and we don't have peace of mind. But when we think that okay, nothing belongs to me, so we might have seen that a person who is like a mendicant or a renounced person, he's not at all worried about anything because he has nothing to lose. Right? So similarly, when we change our consciousness and understand that there is nothing belongs to me, all these things are temporary, just because of my duty, I have to perform my responsibilities, otherwise really nothing belongs to me. When we think like that, then actually our proprietorship mentality goes away, and then we become peaceful. And then third most important thing is that when we think that there is nobody to protect me, I am on my own in this world, no, there is nobody to help me, right, I am completely alone, like nobody, no friends, no relatives, nobody's helping me. If you think like that, then we become very much morose, very much unhappy. But when we understand that Krishna is my best friend and he is my ultimate well-wisher and he is supreme Lord, right, he is the greatest person, he can do everything. So when we have such a friend who actually is the topmost of the greatest person, then why we need to worry? No, there is no need reason of worrying. So like this, when we change our consciousness, understanding this aspects, no, Bhuktaram Yudnatapasam Sarvalokamaeshwaram, Surdam Sarvabhutanam, when we understand this concept in principle, then actually our anxieties will go away. We become peaceful. So the example is that how a small child, he's worry. He doesn't have any worry, right? He's fully like without any worry. Right? He's very innocent and there's no worry for the child. So how it is the child is not having worry because he fully have trust in his parent, right? His father will take care of him, everything. So he has some 100% faith in his father, so he doesn't worry. Tomorrow, how will I get my food? Whether I'll get shelter, whether I'll get dress. So the child is not worried about anything because he knows that my father can provide everything. So similarly, when we have full faith in Krishna and trust the Lord, then we also become like a child. We fully depend on Krishna and we understand that Krishna will provide what is necessary for me. Right? So this way, this sloka is having a very profound understand, a profound impact, on our life if we really understand the meaning. Mhm. So one example we can see is that how we associate, with the material things. So, uh, like we have seen, suppose we buy a car. No, we recently bought a new car, and while driving the car, let's say the car scratches. There's a small accident, and then it's small another car. So then actually we become very much disturbed by that. No, so even though the car is not my part of my body or anything, even though I did not get injured, but because I associate with the car. No, I think that this car belongs to me, right? Because of the association and the consciousness that this car is mine, even though the car is not part of my body, but when the car gets damaged, I am actually mentally disturbed, right? My peace will go. I'm restless. I am disturbed, right? So we see that so many road rage accidents happen, road rage incidents happen because of these kind of incidents, right? But actually, the car doesn't belong to me. So if somebody else's car get damaged, then I don't have any problem, right? Because so many cars every day we see that we are not affected by it. But this is so basically the association or the conception that this item belongs to me, right? That actually is the real cause of the distress. But no, actually, but it is not real distress. No, it is just because of the association, right? So yeah. So these are the important things. And another important thing
Hare
is that how
Krishna.
we can become peaceful is our understanding that we have seen the loss of karma, right? So we've seen that the prarabdha karma is the karma that a jiva is supposed to enjoy in this particular lifetime of the different karmas. And this is already predestined, right? So when you are born, it is already destined that how much distress and how much happiness you will be having in this lifetime, right? So this will automatically come to you. We don't have to really endeavor for it. It automatically comes, the whether we like it or not, the what is destined will come to us. So when we understand this, then actually there is no need to be anxious. Okay, is the audio okay? Actually, can somebody confirm? Direction still it is happening. Okay,
Yes, bro.
is it okay now or same? Maybe I'll stop the video. Direction. So is it better? Direction. Okay, so without our video will go. Yeah. So yeah. So basically, when we understand that, see what is destined for us will definitely come, right? No, but we do our part, and then we have to leave the rest to the Lord. So if you have that consciousness, so what how much ever we endeavor, if something is not destined for us, it will not get it, right? And then if something is destined, then whoever tries to prevent it, we will get it. So this understanding, that like, whatever is destined is for us, which will come naturally, will also make us peaceful. We don't have to over endeavor for things. No, we have to do our part and then leave the rest to the Lord. So similarly, so then the Lord will actually, accordingly give what is necessary. Okay, so when we understand that Krishna is the root of everything, right? So we saw that just like watering the root of a tree, the entire tree is nourished. So similarly, when we worship the Supreme Lord Krishna, right, and all other devatas who are actually is order carriers, who is working under him for the universal government, they will automatically be pleased. So we don't have to worry thinking that okay, if I only worship Krishna, whether the other gods will become unhappy. That is not necessary because the Lord actually is the ultimate source of everything. So we can be rest assured that when Krishna is pleased, everything is pleased. In Srimad Bhagavatam 8.3.30 it mentioned Yasmin Tushte Jagat Tushtam, right? So that's Sloka. So which means that when Krishna is actually pleased, then everybody, all other demigods, all the other every living entity is automatically pleased. Okay, so let's look at a small story of Ambrish Maharaj. How Ambrish Maharaj conducted his life and how Ambrish Maharaj understood this principle of Bhoktaram Yatna Tapasam. So Ambrish Maharaj was a great king, and he actually was a devotee of the Lord, and he understood that Krishna is the ultimate benefactor of all the yajna. So he performed various sacrifices so that his kingdom and people they are all happy, right? So he actually he acted like a representative of the Lord. So ideally, king is called Naradeva, which means that he is ruling as on behalf of the God. Like on behalf of the Lord, the king is just a representative of the Lord, and he has to ensure that all his subjects are, getting the necessities, and also they are getting the spiritual knowledge so that they can get free from cycle of birth and death. So once actually Durvasa Muni came, to Ambarish Maharaj, and there was some misunderstanding. We will not get into the details. Okay, because Ambarish Maharaj did not wait for Durvasa Muni, to break the fast. And we know Durvasa Muni, he actually is no very short tempered. No, so he became angry, and he actually tries to kill Ambarish Maharaj. He creates a demon who actually runs behind Durvasa Muni, sorry, Ambarish Maharaj. But however, because Ambarish Maharaj was fully surrendered to Krishna, right? He fully depended on Krishna. He knows that Krishna is the Suhridam Sarvabhutanam. He was not disturbed actually, even though this incident happened. So he just depended on the Lord. So what happened? Actually, the Lord actually becomes so because the Lord is ultimate protector, he released Sudarshan Chakra, to kill Durvasa Muni. So the Durvasa Muni did not get any protection. He went everywhere in the world. He went to all Brahma, Vishnu, so everywhere he went actually, but nobody could save him because Vishnu will say that you only Ambarish can protect you. So finally, Durvasa Muni had to fall on the feet of Ambarish Maharaj, and Ambarish Maharaj, being a devotee of the Lord, he immediately forgive Durvasa Muni. So what we understood is that because Ambarish Maharaj's consciousness that Krishna is actually the well-wisher, ultimate well-wisher, and he is the benefactor of everybody. In that consciousness, he was living, he has full faith in the Lord. So the Lord understood because Ambarish could not protect himself. So he actually personally intervened and helped Ambarish Maharaj. So this way we should also have faith in the Lord that whatever happens is ultimately beneficial for us. Temporarily it may appear that it is not favorable, but we should still have the faith, right? That ultimately it will be beneficial for us. So this way we can understand the today's shloka that Bhoktaram Yadadvasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Surdam Sarvabhudanam Natvam Prachati. So what are the key takeaways? Key takeaway is that the today's shloka is a formula for attaining ultimate peace. And we saw that the anxiety of the jiva is because of his false identity and also false proprietorship, thinking that all this belongs to me. But actually, in reality, nothing is permanent. Everything is temporary, and all the relationship and association is also temporary. So, and when we understand that Krishna is the ultimate benefactor of everything, and He is the ultimate well-wisher, and we depend on the Lord, then actually we can attain the real peace. Okay, so with that, I think we come to the end of the today's topic. I hope. I mean, sorry for the issue because I'm actually out of station. So I'm depending on my mobile data, and sometimes the network is not proper. But I have seen that last time. No, the recording is still okay. So in case if you are not able to miss some part of the you miss some part of the today's session, so please I'll post the recording and please go through the recording. So if somebody wants to leave at this point, they can leave. Or any are there any questions? They can unmute and ask, or you can put it in the chat. Hare Krishna, leave it is. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. Yeah. So if there are no questions, we'll end here. Thanks for joining. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. See you tomorrow, Hare Krishna.